have a closer look at what's going to be happening, or we should have a closer look at the Right for Education slot on a Thursday. And I'm going to be reading you an article by Ashley Stand. And this article talks about internet shutdowns. What are they? Why do governments use them? And what are their consequences? As the internet grows, so does the use of internet shutdowns. Firstly, we will consider what internet shutdowns are, and secondly, we will consider the reasons a government might impose an internet shutdown, and finally, we will consider the consequences of these shutdowns. And the first thing is, what are they? Internet shutdowns are when the internet is intentionally disrupts access to the internet. This can be by an individual or by more than commonly a government. This can happen in a variety of ways. The internet may be entirely blocked, some content restricted, or it may be throttled. And throttling is where they make internet speed so slow that it can't be used. Why do governments use them? Governments often claim to use internet shutdowns to protect national security or the public order. In some cases, they have claimed to shut down the internet to prevent students cheating in exams. Despite the reasons that the governments give for their shutdowns, the real reasons are quite different. Governments may use internet shutdowns to control the sharing of information, and this can prevent people from knowing what is going on in the world around them. More worryingly, this control of information can be to control people's views, and governments believe that by limiting people's ability to communicate, they can control the political narrative. This can be to prevent a discussion about politicians committing fraud or other atrocities by their military, as Sudan has recently been accused of. And why are the consequences of internet shutdowns? There is no evidence that shutting down the internet helps to terrorist attacks, nor is there evidence that internet shutdowns stop them while they are occurring. It is more likely that they prevent emergency services from doing their jobs when they are most needed. Furthermore, it can cause psychological harm as people can't find out if their loved ones are safe. Also, internet shutdowns do not prevent the protests and unrest they are designed to prevent. They often cause a further protest instead. The shutdowns often are condemned internationally. This can raise the profile of the issue and put governments under greater pressure. And these shutdowns also cause a business large losses in profit. These internet shutdowns can be avoided by VPNs or visual personal networks. Practical solutions like these are useful as there is rarely any legal consequences for the government. Old-fashioned laws where there is no right to information make it difficult to hold these governments accountable. And in conclusion, while the internet shutdowns become more frequent, people continue to find ways around it. Freedom of information is important because it is important to be able to communicate. Governments use them to restrict their citizens' access to information and freedom of speech. International pressure as well as a civil unrest may force governments to provide these basic rights to their citizens. And that was an article right there by Ashley Stand on the Right for Education slot. And this morning we were having a closer look at international shutdowns. What are they? Why do governments use them? And what are their consequences? So make it a point to listen to the Right for Education slot next week, Tuesday, right here on the Alpha Breakfast on Sky Alpha HD Radio to the Stars.